I'm Adrian Seat, and this is Nightline, the headlines. KK Mart petrol bombing. Action will be taken against perpetrators, says PM. And Wisma Putra to help bring back bodies of students killed in a New Zealand road accident. Thanks for joining us. Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has called on all parties not to take matters into their own hands following another petrol bomb attack on a KK Mart convenience store in Sungai Isap, Kuantan early Saturday morning. The Prime Minister had also instructed the police not to compromise in this matter.
Kita dah bagi amaran, ada masalah, dah dakwa, biar jalur hukum. Jangan ambil tindakan sendiri. Kita akan bertindak terhadap orang yang melakukan tindakan, terutama keganasan begini. Negara ini negara aman, jangan guna isu kaum atau agama untuk memperandakan. Dan saya telah bagi tahu, polis tidak harus bertolak ansur sama sekali.
Anwar said this after attending the Madani Sarawak 2024 Breaking Fast ceremony in Kota Semarahan, Sarawak on Saturday. Meanwhile, Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said that those who had instigated a boycott of KK Mart following the Allah Socks issue must take responsibility for the firebombing incidents and stop inciting the people. In a statement on Saturday, Saifuddin pointed out that the socks issue show how easily the emotions and sentiments of the people are fanned by irresponsible circles. The minister added that the KK Mart controversy would turn dangerous when there are opportunistic parties blowing up religious and racial sentiments for vested interest. He also said while calling on the people to boycott a particular brand is not illegal, breaking into or trying to set a convenience store ablaze are clear offences. These acts, he said, can lead to the destruction of property and loss of lives. He also stressed that the police will deploy all forces to control and maintain public order in the country following the incident. Earlier, a suspected Molotov cocktail was thrown at another branch of the KK Mart chain in Kuantan that caused a small fire in front of the store's entrance early on Saturday morning. Kuantan District Police Chief Wan Muhammad Zahari Wan Busu said the incident happened at 5:14 a.m. at the Sungai Isap KK Mart branch. Wan Muhammad Zahari said the fire, which was carried out by an unknown individual, caused slight damage to items on 4 sales shelves at the convenience store. At the time of the incident, 2 employees, a man and a woman, were inside the store. Police said the Molotov cocktail was thrown from outside the premises and it fell on the carpet of the store entrance, causing a small fire. One of the workers managed to get a fire extinguisher and put it out before it spread further. No casualties were reported, but the store suffered an estimated loss of 500 ringgit due to the mischievous act. The convenience store had only been in operation for 2 weeks, and authorities are currently examining the closed-circuit camera or CCTV footage at the adjacent premises to identify the suspect. The incident was believed to be related to the sale of socks with the word Allah on them that had been sold at several branches of the convenience store chain. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code. The Higher Education Ministry will provide assistance to bring back the remains of 2 Malaysian students who were killed in a road accident in New Zealand on Saturday. Its Minister Datuk Sri Zamri Abdul Kadir said his ministry is currently getting feedback and complete information regarding the students from Wisma Putra. Zamri said that the ministry will assist in matters related to the requirements to ensure that the process, including bringing back the remains and others, runs smoothly. However, the ministry will need to first discuss with the families involved regarding the funeral arrangements. Zamri, who also expressed his condolences to the victims' families, added that the ministry is also getting further information regarding 3 other Malaysian students injured in the incident. Earlier, it was reported that 2 Malaysian students died in a road accident at Lake Tekapo in New Zealand at 1:45 p.m. local time on Saturday. The accident also involved 3 other Malaysian students who were airlifted to Christchurch Hospital on the South Island for urgent medical care. The deceased victims were identified as Megat Ashman Akif Megat Irman Jeffni and Wan Nur Adlina Alisa, who are both students at the University of Canterbury, while the 3 injured students are Nur Firas Wafiyah and Leah Isabel Walton, who are also students at the same university, and Muhammad Faris Muhammad Fairusham from the Victoria University of Wellington. In a statement earlier, the Foreign Ministry said the Malaysian High Commission in Wellington is providing consular assistance to the victims and their next of kin. The ministry also extended its condolences to those affected by the tragic road accident and said that it is ready to assist should the next of kin decide to repatriate the remains to Malaysia. Local media reported that aside from the Malaysian victims, a motorcyclist was also killed, while 2 more people were hospitalized after the crash involving 2 vehicles and a motorcycle on State Highway 8 near Lake Pukaki. Meanwhile, Faris's father, Muhammad Fairusham Chekmat Zain, when met by TV3, said that his son is being treated at the Christchurch Hospital and his condition is now stable. He added that the second-year student at the Victoria University of Wellington had sustained a fracture in the shoulder in the incident.
Kami pun terperanjat sedih dan terperanjat mendapat berita tentang keperangan ni. Lebih-lebih lagi kami dapat tahu yang ada kematian melibatkan kematian 2 orang pelajar. Walaupun tidak melibatkan anak kami, tapi semua itu adalah kita merupakan kawan-kawan. Dan saya dipahamkan juga pelajar yang meninggal itu pernah datang ke rumah kami lah, berbuka puasa di rumah kami lah sebelum ni.
The Transport Ministry is currently in the final stage of reviewing the road tax rate structure for electric vehicles, EVs, and an announcement is expected next month. Its Minister Anthony Loke said the decision to review the structure is aimed at making the road tax for EVs cheaper compared with internal combustion engine ICE vehicles, besides encouraging more people to use EVs. Loke added that his ministry would announce a rate for EV cars by the end of April after discussions were held with the Land Division. This is so that when the exemption period for the EV road tax ends this year, the road tax that comes after will be offered at an affordable rate. He also said that the challenge faced in the process is the comparison of engine capacity of ICE and EV vehicles. Currently, road tax for EV is free, but those who purchase EV vehicles are worried that the road tax would be higher than ICE vehicles. Loke also assured that he is committed to the matter, as this was in line with the government's desire and policy to promote EVs and to reduce carbon emission. Police have not ruled out the possibility that the suspected Israeli spy detained with firearms and ammo in Kuala Lumpur on Wednesday was on a mission to kill Hamas operatives in Malaysia. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein said authorities are also investigating the possibility that the suspect has ties to the Israeli intelligence agency Mossad. According to Razaruddin, police are investigating all possibilities in the case, including why the Israeli man had 6 guns and 200 rounds of ammunition in his possession. He said this was a key question given that the suspect, upon questioning, claimed he was in Malaysia to kill a fellow countryman over a personal dispute. However, police are still investigating the suspect's actual intent and believe he may have other agendas. Meanwhile, police said the couple detained at a Ramadan bazaar in Kuala Selangor on Friday evening for allegedly supplying firearms to the Israeli man has been remanded for 7 days starting from Saturday. Both suspects, aged 42 and 40, who are locals, were issued the remand order to facilitate police investigations under the Firearms Act. Razaruddin, who confirmed the matter, said information obtained from the couple led the police to raid their residence in Kuala Selangor, where they found a gun in a Honda Jazz car. Both suspects claimed to have purchased the weapon in Thailand before handing it over to the Israeli man. Police also have obtained a remand order against a 38-year-old local man who acted as a driver for the Israeli. On Friday, the top cop revealed the arrest of a 36-year-old Israeli man suspected of being a spy at a hotel on Jalan Ampang on Wednesday. During the arrest, police found 6 pistols, including SIG Sauer, Smith & Wesson, and Glock, as well as 200 rounds of ammunition, in addition to 2 passports, namely a French passport used by the suspect to enter Malaysia from the United Arab Emirates UAE on March the 12th, and an Israeli passport. The 5 individuals killed in a shootout with the police at Putra Heights, Selangor on Friday night were responsible for over 50 armed robbery cases in the Klang Valley since 2 years ago. Selangor Police Chief Dato' Hussein Omar Khan said the suspects, dubbed the Ninja Van Gang, would also resort to violence, including slashing their victims who attempted to resist them. According to Hussein, all the suspects aged between 25 and 30 were locals and had been wanted by the police since 2022. Checks revealed that the 5 suspects have extensive criminal records, with each having between 7 and 16 police records. The group would target courier companies, factories, offices and residences to steal safe boxes containing money. Amongst the hotspots are Klang, Puchong, Bukit Jalil and Cheras. It was also believed that the suspects had insiders within the respective premises, providing them with information for their criminal activities.
Hasil pemeriksaan, kita telah menjumpai 2 senjata api, beberapa bilah parang, tukul dan juga kuku besi, sarung tangan dan juga topeng yang pihak polis percaya kumpulan ini sedang merancang untuk melakukan satu lagi rompakan.
In the 11:30 p.m. incident, a police team spotted a car being driven in a suspicious manner at Persiaran Harmoni Putra Heights and flagged down the vehicle for inspection. However, the driver refused to stop and the occupants in the car started firing shots at the policeman. In response, the policeman returned fire, killing them at the scene. Police busted a drug trafficking syndicate with the arrest of 4 men and a seizure of 312.7 kilograms of shabu, valued at 10.3 million ringgit, during a raid at a terrace house in Selangor last Wednesday. Bukit Aman Narcotics Criminal Investigation Department NCID Director Dato' Kor Kok Chin said the 4 local men aged between 23 to 40 were believed to be transporters and coordinators for the syndicate that had been active since October last year.
Saya percaya ini grup ini dibawa daripada utara negara jiran kita. Saya cakap utara negara jiran, tuan-tuan faham nak? Dibawa masuk melalui kenderaan, melalui darat lah. Kemudian dia akan bawa dia akan singgah dekat pertengahan di negeri kita, di negara utara juga, negeri Kedah, di pertengahan tu, dan dia akan simpan dekat stor, dan selepas dia memerhati tidak ada orang yang ikut ataupun pihak polis yang ikut, dia akan terus bawa sampailah ke Lembah Kelang, terutama khas yang kita buat serbuan di rumah tersebut di Selangor. Di sinilah mereka akan teruskan pasaran ke pengguna tempatan dan juga akan melalui Korea itu hantar ke luar negara.
Police also confiscated assets worth over 2 million ringgit, including 4 luxury vehicles, cash and jewelry following the raid. Initial investigations and urine screening tests on the suspects revealed that none of them had prior criminal records or tested positive for drugs. Police are now focusing on identifying the syndicate's mastermind, and so far there are no leads connecting the syndicate to organised crime. All the suspects have been remanded until April the 2nd, and the case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act. Still to come, cafe siege ends with suspect apprehended. Stay tuned.
Kau ni dah kenapa pergi gembat kepala di bawah atas sini?
Macam tak biasa dengan cara aku.
Tapi kau bawa pergi rumah Mbah.
Mereka takkan boleh lagi.
Maksud Mbah nak benda ni viral?
Kenapa kau tak bunuh je diorang?
Mati hukuman yang terlalu mudah. Mbah nak aku buat diorang rasa tersiksa.
Dukun hitam manis dengan cahaya bintang.
Nabi kata madu adalah ubat paling mujarab. Kalau kata kita tak ambil, siapa yang nak berubat?
Jika di dunia ini tidak ada lagi lebah pupus sepenuhnya, manusia hanya mampu hidup tidak lebih daripada 4 tahun.
Semua ni dia boleh belajar dan boleh mengajar. Manusia petah lagi.
Kalau kita dapat hasilkan budak yang suka untuk mengaji dan 1 orang yang boleh ajar balik ngaji di sini, saya rasa itu dah berbaloi lah.
Stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We're back with news from the foreign front. The Zionist regime shot dead a 13-year-old Palestinian boy during a raid in the occupied West Bank on Saturday, marking the deaths of 82 Palestinians in the past 24 hours. It was reported that there were confrontations with Israeli forces at the town of Kabatia, south of Jenin city, during the Zionists' brutal overnight raid there. The Zionists claimed that a number of Palestinian gunmen had shot at its troops and returned fire, but it was later reported that the Palestinian boy was killed. To date, the death toll in Gaza and the occupied West Bank has surged to at least 32,705 Palestinians, with more than 75,190 others left wounded. Meanwhile, the Palestine Foreign Affairs Ministry on Saturday has criticized the United States after reports it agreed to send another $2.5 billion in weapons to Israel. This comes despite growing concerns that Israeli forces will expand military operations to Rafah, where displaced people have been sheltering. In a statement, the ministry said demanding Israel's President Benjamin Netanyahu to stop killing civilians and supplying him with weapons is an unprecedented principle and moral contradiction. The ministry also expressed regret at the ongoing failure on the part of the UN Security Council, UNSC, and of the International Court of Justice, ICJ, to bring Israel to respect their decisions. On Monday, the UNSC voted in favor of a resolution demanding a ceasefire after the US, that holds veto power, abstained. A hostage situation at a nightclub in the Netherlands has ended peacefully on early Saturday morning after police arrested a man wearing a balaclava when he exited the premises and surrendered to the police. Now, according to officials, 4 people, including the cafe Petticoat employees, have been taken hostage when the man entered the cafe. An initial group of 3 people were released and the 4th emerged some 6 hours after the incident began, while the man was nabbed 60 minutes later. Now, during the incident, the police ordered an evacuation of the streets and all trains heading towards the town were cancelled. Police explosive units were also deployed as the man had threatened to blow himself up while carrying weapons and explosives. The suspect's motive was unclear, but the police have brushed off any indication of a terrorist motive. Japanese health officials searched a Kobayashi pharmaceutical factory on Saturday after the drug maker reported 5 deaths, possibly linked to dietary supplements using red yeast rice. Now, the Health Ministry, Labour and Welfare and the city of Osaka jointly inspected the factory in Osaka that had manufactured the supplements containing Benikoji red yeast, suspected of causing health damage. According to the local media, the factory that produced the product until December had been closed due to aging facilities. On Friday, Kobayashi said it was investigating a suspected link between the products and their effects on the kidney, since it received reports of kidney diseases linked to the products. As of Thursday, 114 people had been hospitalized and 5 have died after taking the supplements that were marketed as helping to lower cholesterol levels.
Together today for a somber moment for the TPS. Erika, I am here today.
Another brilliant display from Dimitrov. Action from Miami right after this breather.
Muhammad, seorang kelainan upaya sejak dilahirkan ke dunia. Dia menjalani kesusahan hidup bersama-sama dengan bapanya, Abdul Kadir Cik Leh, 92 tahun. Walaupun Muhammad insan kelainan upaya, dia mampu menguruskan dirinya sendiri. Dialah anak yang ditakdirkan menjaga makan minum dan menguruskan bapanya selagi hayat di kandung badan.
Hadirnya Ramadan membawa rahmat dan maghfirah yang tidak terhingga.
Kali pertama nak solat kan, macam kepiah dekat bawah, nasib baik kain tak jatuh.
Daripada zero saya boleh baca Al-Quran sekarang. Saya minta doa dekat Allah. Saya menyesal duduk penjara ni.
Perkhidmatan van jenazah swasta kenakan bayaran yang terlalu tinggi. Jadi saya buat keputusan tekad untuk jual saya punya motor untuk keluarkan saya punya van jenazah.
Nona di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
We begin sports with squash, the 2024 London Squash Classic. As Siva Sangari shocked the arena by breezing past world number 1 Nour El Sherbini of Egypt in their quarter-final clash on Saturday night. Then the national top squash player needed only 23 minutes to clinch a comfortable 11-9, 11-9 victory. Siva Sangari will face fourth seed Nelly Gillis of Belgium in the semi-finals. On to tennis, the 2024 Miami Open. Grigor Dimitrov followed his ruthless upset of Carlos Alcaraz with another brilliant display to beat Alexander Zverev in the semi-final on Saturday. The 11th seed utilized his forehand techniques to beat the German 6-4, 6-7, 6-4 in a match that lasted for 2 hours and 37 minutes. With this win, the Bulgarian advanced to his third ATP Masters 1000 final and his first in Miami, where he will face Jannik Sinner. Earlier, the Australian champion Sinner powered past defending champion Daniil Medvedev in straight sets to reach the final for the second year in a row. The Italian did not face any trouble as he only needed 69 minutes to carve out a convincing 6-1, 6-2 victory against the Russian. The win saw Sinner improve to 21-1 this year, with his only loss coming to Carlos Alcaraz Garcia in the Indian Wells final. Community school gives hope to stateless youth. The details when Nightline comes back.
Wow. Sayang. Ini bukannya potong kaki ayam tau, potong serai. I hargai sangat usaha you.
Jangan juntung.
Juntung? Bukan juntung.
Apa?
Junjung.
Jangan junjung. Dah lupa diri dah tu.
Hujung minggu dalam Jalan-Jalan Cari Makan Ramadan bersama dengan saya, Nadia Hasnan. Saya tahu yang tengah tengok sekarang ni siapa tertelan Leo dia. Menu kegemaran ramai iaitu craving set. Lapar lagi lah kan, nak tambah nasi lagi. Silakan tambah, makan sampai puas. Yang ni kalau makan, Anda mesti nangis punya. Nangis bukan sebab sedih, nangis sebab je sedapnya. Saksikan Jalan-Jalan Cari Makan Ramadan setiap Ahad 11.30 pagi hanya di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. In Johor, a Form 2 student was killed after the car driven by his mother collided with a lorry in Pontian on Saturday. The incident took place at the Jalan Benut Simpang Renggam near Kampung Parit Jamal, Benut, as the family of 3 was returning home from Pekan Nenas to Kluang. Pontian District Police Chief Superintendent Shofi Tayyip said in the 8:30 a.m. incident, the victim, 14-year-old Muhammad Haikal Muhammad Azdi Jastani, succumbed to his injuries at the scene. The lorry travelling from Simpang Renggam to Benut was believed to have lost control and veered into the opposite lane before colliding into the family's car. The victim's mother, 47-year-old Jalilah Jalil, suffered injuries to her legs and arms, while the victim's sibling, 12-year-old Muhammad Naim, who was sitting in the front passenger seat, suffered injuries to his arms. The lorry driver, 27-year-old Muhammad Zulkifli Muhammad Mustaqim, escaped unhurt. Haikal's body was later sent to the Pontian Hospital for post-mortem. The injured victims were also taken to the same hospital for treatment and later transferred to the Sultanah Aminah Hospital in Johor Bahru. The cause of the crash is being investigated under the Road Transport Act. In the heart of Chowkit, a community school is offering a glimmer of hope to undocumented children. The school not only offers education, but also a sense of belonging and opportunity in a world that seems to have cast them aside. Natasha Buse and Rex Tan bring you the story.
Waking up early, showering, dressing up and heading to school is the mundane routine of most primary and secondary school students. One often met with groans about early mornings and piles of homework. But for 15-year-old Christina, a stateless child, this ordinary routine is something she has always yearned to be a part of. Born to an Indonesian mother and a father who is a permanent resident, Christina is hampered by her parents' inability to produce a valid marriage certificate. That means she has no access to the national school system. Her parents have tried to give her the best education they can, sending her to a private religious school. But this has not been enough for Christina, who has always dreamt of receiving a proper education. Some part of that dream has come true.
At first, I found out macam ada a group of people brings books and maths. So sebab saya suka buku, so saya pun rasa macam interesting ah. Saya pun nak join. Lepas tu diorang pun welcome.
What started as a mobile library called Buku Jalanan Chowkit has over time evolved into a homeschooling program for displaced children who are unable to enroll in government schools. BJCK currently has 89 students ranging from Primary 1 to Form 4. Joining BJCK has allowed Christina access to a donated laptop which she can use for her studies. She has also experienced her first ever sports day and gone on a school camp to Cherating Beach. Christina and her cohort owe these precious experiences to BJCK founder Siti Rahayu Baharin, or Cikgu Rahayu as they fondly refer to her.
BJCK cater to all children. I think you interview one of them, right? That she thought that she come to the age of going to school. She went to register and the school denied her because of her documentation issues. So we don't want to do that. We want to provide education for every children because that is the basic right of a child.
Now with its own premises, BJCK wants to run a business to sustain its operations. It has recruited the mothers of BJCK students to run a newly opened cafeteria, which they hope will also allow these women to supplement their family income. The cafeteria will also allow BJCK graduates an opportunity to earn a living.
Through our business, we can provide a platform for them to work, so that they will not be cheated.
Amidst the challenges faced by the undocumented community, Cikgu Rahayu calls for empathy and understanding from fellow Malaysians. She urges society to reconsider its stance and recognize stateless people who, like everyone else, are simply trying to make the best of their circumstances. Natasha Bust and Rex Tan, FMT for Nightline.
As Nightline draws to a close, we turn our attention to the heartwarming scene at Sekolah Kebangsaan Bandar Baru Sri Damansara, where the Parent-Teacher Association and the Islamic Committee joined hands to prepare iftar. The gathering was also organised as part of the Nuzul Al-Quran celebrations. With that, I'm Adrian Seed. Thank you for watching, and to our Muslim viewers, Selamat Bersahur.